Hi everyone and welcome. Today it is the full moon and our full moon is in Libra. If you look below you can see the time that it comes in, and it is a very soft but very intense full moon. It is the first full moon since our spring equinox, and also we're going into our beautiful Easter holiday. For those of you that are in other denominations and such, perhaps it's starting today and also again for Good Friday and going into the weekend. Also, for those that are Buddhists, it is a devotional with His Holiness the Dalai Lama for longevity prayers and longevity for others. So this is all about balance, because we're talking about balancing of love in all areas, all places, so that we can all hold hands together. But what about personalizing things for yourself in your own home if you're by yourself? It can also be this place of feeling very unbalanced because maybe you don't feel like you fit somewhere, or you want to have this peace that comes to you because you've been feeling unbalanced. This is a good time to get your candle. Now, what if you don't have any? You don't want to run to the store and get one. I've often said to you, please have a white candle on hand. We started with that in January. That candle in particular is meant to be a pillar candle, and one that you have anointed with olive oil. Why olive oil? Why not other oils? Because olive oil, first of all, is very easy to get. Also, it's about longevity. It's about inclusiveness. It's about something that's very sustainable. It grows from very, very small, and then when it sprouts, it lives a long, long time. Very long time, actually. So that in and itself is an anointing of showing longevity. It's very, very good for the skin, and that would be always the oil I would ask you to use over any other oil. If you want to add an extra oil on top of there, you're always welcome to. In this particular case, I would add either frankincense. I'm hearing in my head, actually, you could add bergamot. And also, if you do have myrrh on hand, you can add that. Not all together, maybe a couple. You don't need to do them all. One isn't going to be so much better than the other. Even though they all have different properties, what you're doing is you're adding love. You're anointing it so that you can bring spirit to you, can bring our deities to you when you light the candle. If you haven't already put the cinnamon on it, not cinnamon oil, but the cinnamon on it, you don't need to particularly add it in this candle. But once you have anointed the candle from the wick to the base 3 times with the intention of, I dedicate this candle to my goddesses, to my angels and holy ones, then put it on a plate and then decorate the plate. Now, I've showed you in previous videos what you can do. Keep it really simple. You'll be amazed what you can do. You don't have to run out and buy a lot of things. It's like spreading a table. If you have guests, maybe you'll run out and buy things, but if you're at the last moment, you'll manage to find things in the house that bring to you what you feel would be representation of that particular table that you're spreading out. I would say, oh, if you have eggs or if you have dried flowers or something of that nature, you could put that around, a little bit of greenery, maybe even just simple glitter around. You don't have to do anything that's too complicated. Really, the more simple it is, the better. If you have an opportunity to make any kind of breads, I know we're all pretty much on this don't eat gluten thing, but it's nice to have certain types of breads on the table because it is a representation of the body. Okay, and then also if you're one that likes wine, something of that nature, a sweet wine would be good. Other than that, you can put a juice of some sort, or again, simply water. Don't get caught up, if you can, in the rightness and the wrongness of what you're putting on the table. Imagine that if you went to someone's house, you wouldn't have an expectation, I would hope, that they're going to be putting certain things on the table. It's more about you going in and being able to be with your friends and having a good time. It also, because it's a more of a holiday, that it would be something easy and impeccable so that you can enjoy one another's company. As far as if you have any kinds of fruits, since we live in these places that we can get fruits, I would suggest, simply what's in season for the most part, but maybe apples and grapes, strawberries, that sort of thing. If you're like me and I'm by myself at this time, what do? I go in and I think, okay, I have this, this, and this on hand. And as long as the presentation is beautiful to myself and to my deities, that's what matters. So what am I going to counsel you with as far as just if you're going to just super simple and just light the candle during the day and let it burn for the majority of the day and into the evening with that full moon? Yes, have something there that you want to request, because this is a day that you can request whatever you want, which is lovely. And all the prayers are heard from all these deities that are listening. Because it's the moon in Libra, you have the balance of the scales again. We don't want everything to be perfectly still. We want it a little bit like this, because even if you put the little weight on the one side, what you put on the other will balance it until it gets steady for a moment. Then they remove them, and that is what you're giving to yourself. So you don't have to sit there and keep trading it around. How can I feel in balance? Oh my gosh, I'm not in balance. It's more about, what do I need to do to just have a moment of silence, which brings you into balance. With our left hand and our right hand, and we're doing namaste, we're doing prayer work, we're bringing the energies of our female side, our male side into harmony. Because as I teach, 1 + 1 actually equals 3. Yes, I know that mathematically that doesn't sound right, and it wouldn't be good on a test for little ones, but actually it is a triad, and that's what we want. We want one over here that's this side, one over here that's that side, and the candle and the energy, so that we're all sitting down in a trinity. That is the most perfect and balanced, harmonious way to live. So what am I saying? So when you're in prayer today and you're requesting what you want, have a moment of silence. And some of us will get our minds going around a little bit, or maybe quite a bit, but just keep coming into that place. If you put your hands right here at your high heart, your heart and high heart, and it goes, you cannot help it, it goes right here into this area. And so it's that straight line that's going to heaven and coming down to you. And just sitting there very quiet for a moment brings that silence in. You don't have to stare hard at the candle, but closing your eyes occasionally, and then you'll see something in your third eye, maybe or maybe not. Some do, some don't. Again, it's just really about being quiet, and beyond the quiet is the silence. If you want to get really elaborate in this Libra, then I would put how you feel in balance. I would write that. How do I feel, and how am I in balance in my life? Not critically. Everything about this is it's rather like a gratitude list. How am I living in balance? Please don't write how I'm not living in balance. Just focus on how I'm living in balance, and then bring that back and read that list again with your candle lit. This is how I'm living in balance. And then you can say the sentence, I am grateful in this moment. Because if we're looking at this is how I live and this is how I want to live, then we're really spread apart, and we want to bring it here just for that moment. When we really feel that gratitude is when we're simply being with that statement in silence. Look around you in your home and everything that you've surrounded yourself with, all that you're grateful for. Now, as I was sharing with one of my students the other day, I said, we all have our favorite pieces of furniture. What is your favorite? Maybe there's favorite statues like I have. We surround ourselves for the most part with everything we love, but every once in a while, we just have something we love just a little bit more. And I love everything around here. Just be very pinpointed, because as you are, you're filling your space with balance. It's not just about the things that have breath in them. It's the breath that we're giving everything around us. That's the third thing. It's breath. That's the ultimate gift. That's the ultimate gift of everything that we have. So be with that, your breath, the silence. Play, have a good time. Have a beautiful Easter. And when you have a moment if you're with your family, whatever, just see things around you and come to a quiet space just for a moment. All that I pray for you, all that I sit and meditate for you, all the thoughts that I have for you are in silence. And in that silence, we breathe together. So my blessing upon you is for healing of the body, your mind, that your breath will be more free. Have a beautiful Easter. Thank you.